We are live.
You're live.
We're live, everyone.
Yes, we are. Hello and welcome to the GI show, GI Live with Scuba Steve Rabackoff and Nicholas Thaddeus Sloyak.
Thaddeus, I like that.
It's my middle name. Thanks, Mom. Thanks, Dad.
So what's going on there, Nick? We just got back from NXL Atlantic City.
We did. First off, I guess we'll thank you guys for joining, being here with us. This is our second live show.
It is.
We're going to be doing this bi-weekly or possibly the big goal is to do one remotely.
Week.
Well, every week, but then to do some at event locations.
Which would start next week at CPPS. I'm not CPPS, my bad. NXL England.
Oh, you're going to that, huh?
Yes, I am.
Pikey Steve.
I'm going to miss 4th of July. I'm going to hang out with the guys that we took off from.
Hey, lots of air. I've actually had quite a few nice fireworks celebrations in Basildon.
Nice.
So I think you'll have a good time there.
Yeah, right there next to the Holiday Inn.
Yeah, at the Holiday in the backyard.
That's right.
I remember the image, and then Brandon, their fireworks celebration. But yeah, thank you guys for joining us. Like you just said, we did just get back from the NXL Atlantic City event, where one of our guests today he's a world champion. He's the champion of that event. Justin Rabackoff will be joining us live in the studio a little bit later.
And have a chance to win this jersey.
Oh, yeah, and he has a jersey here, an Edmonton Impact jersey. So the one thing, in order to win this jersey, there's a couple questions you're going to have to answer about Justin, and the only way you're going to know the answer to one of those questions is if you listen into the show. So it's not something you can just Google, which would be interesting to Google Justin's name, because I'm sure you would come up. Yeah. But you have to stay tuned to the show.
And subscribe.
And, yes.
YouTube channel, please.
Subscribe to the channel. Do it if you're cool.
Appreciate that.
So we'll be getting into that later in the show. But yeah, what do you think of one?
On this show,
on this show, go ahead.
So on this show, we're going to have today William Crook from Team Mad Frog Militia, who's a brigade commander, and we'll have
brigade. That's for you, Todd Anik.
And Mark Johnson from AC Diesel Imperial Program Team. We have a little segment on him as well, and then we'll get into a live here with Justin. But with Atlantic City,
what'd you think?
Man, on Sunday morning when we had all the pro teams go in, literally every one of those teams had a chance to win that event. They really did. That layout just made it that much easier for
leveled the playing field.
It really did. Yeah, it was a little bit slower than I wanted from watching from a viewer standpoint, but you still had to play through it, and then we'll talk about that with Justin in a little bit.
Okay.
So
okay. What do you think? You think we should, well, besides the layout, from my thoughts, what do you think? Atlantic City go back? I'm hearing a lot of people. Greg Pauly, Jeremy Psalm.
Yeah, they're getting
very vocal on Facebook right now.
Hey, Atlantic City.
Those are two of your best friends, right? You talk to them all the time.
Atlantic City is I don't want to bash Atlantic City.
Well, why not? The place is terrible. It's a poop hole. It looks, the venue, from the view we have,
the venue's great.
It looks amazing. You've got the water, you've got the skyline. It looks great. But when you get in there, I mean, let's start. It's a solid hour drive from Philly. Yeah. If you're flying into Philly, where else can you fly into? I'm not even sure. Baltimore, maybe. I don't know how far away Baltimore is. My geography in that area.
It's just honestly, there's other locations that I'm sure they're looking at, and we'll find out here shortly.
Well, do you know anything? Like, maybe is there like a contract with the the field, or?
I don't everything is done yearly. So
okay.
Again, we've changed. You've seen we were in Cleveland.
Yeah.
Then it moved. So it's going to continue to change based on what people are saying. So
if you have something to say, just message Rab on Facebook.
Send it to Jeremy or Greg.
Yeah. Go to Jeremy Psalm or Greg Pauly's Facebook page and chime in on the comments, because Rab is watching.
Stay away from mine.
Stay away from yours?
During that conversation.
Yeah. Or, if you're feeling frisky, maybe you can just go on How Big Is Paintball and make some stupid comment. Maybe a great comment about GI. I don't know. Rab will get in there and tell you how he feels. So our first show, we had Brad McCurley give away a jersey, and I want to give a shout out to Eli, who won that back in Michigan. So he's got an AC Dallas jersey now. So shout out to you, buddy. Have fun with that. Congratulations. And hey, there's no rule saying you can't win twice.
Yeah, we'll see if he's watching and see how good he is and pays attention here. So, all right, so let's hop into our first segment with William Crook and Mad Frog Militia. And what's great about this team is they travel all over the United States. They took a drive out to Super Game out in Oregon. Mm-hmm. I mean, these guys.
That's a long drive because they're from Michigan.
They're from Michigan. They put a lot of miles. And
it's a huge drive.
Ryan Sexton, who handles the brigade program for our company, he is flying out to Michigan. He's going to take a drive with Mad Frog down to the Tittman factory. Okay. And then they're going to take off from Tittman to skirmish. So, again, we're going to talk about live shows remote. We're going to do that in 2 weeks, attempt there with the sweet internet over there, see if that works, and do a live show and see how that road trip went with the Mad Frog team. So
Ryan's gonna go
fly out
to Michigan, and then he's gonna drive with them down to Tittman. They're gonna go to Tittman, hang out, and then they go from Tittman, from Fort Wayne, Indiana, all the way to
correct.
To Skirmish for Ion.
So we'll see that segment. So let's go into that segment that we talked with him yesterday and check that out.
I can't wait to hear your interview with him.
Yeah, let's do it.
Just like Rab. A lot of the stuff we do is all road trip related. I took a 2000 Thomas school bus and turned it into a traveling vehicle for us. So our first trip we did this year was from Detroit to Florida for Dreaded Legends 3, which is, Florida's always a nice trip. Geez, heck, I've got a calendar here as a matter of fact.
Yeah, man.
Bones and Ashes in
North Carolina.
Was that South? Yeah, that was fun. That was my first time at that field. That is a cool field to play.
Yes, it is.
Fort Knox in Indiana. We've been to Canada, Oregon.
We know you just finished with Living Legends. Could talk about that a little bit, and then talk about some of the events that you're coming up to, which obviously you have Skirmish coming up and big Super Game East. So roll away.
Yeah. Oh man, Legends was great. Actually, it was interesting. Living Legends being at a different location than CPX Sports.
Right.
I'm very happy that it was at Hell Survivors because it's so close. It's a 45-minute drive for me. Yeah, usually I'm driving 4 to 6 hours to get to events.
Yeah.
No, this was a close one for me. I love Hell Survivors, but then again, it's close to the house, and I know it like the back of my hand.
It's one of the iconic fields in paintball. Like if you're listening to this or watching this, you definitely have to make your way to Hell Survivors and go see David Massey and crew, and really it's an iconic field. Speedball scenario, big games. Paintball is paintball. If you're playing paintball and you're having fun, that's
exactly it. Yeah. That's exactly it. I mean, I enjoy watching speedball. I don't want to get beat by a 14-year-old though, so I'm not gonna play.
You're picking and choosing your right battles. I like that. Skirmish is coming up soon. I'll be there in 2 weeks.
Yeah. I'm very much so looking forward to that trip. We're gonna play a little bit of a road rules, road trip kind of deal. And we've got some help from you guys at GI Sports, which is awesome. Ryan Sexton, we're picking him up at Detroit Metro Airport and traveling from there, picking up a few of the team and a few other people on the way. We're going to head down to the Tittman factory. I've never been, so I'm looking forward to that. Get to see some neat stuff.
It's a cool time. And Ryan, for everyone, Ryan Sexton runs the brigade program for GI Sports Empire. And so they're going to pick up Ryan. Ryan's going to fly in. They're going to drive down to Tittman. And then I think you guys are just cruising straight to Skirmish, right?
We're cruising across to Pennsylvania to Skirmish, but it's not straight. We've got a couple of iconic road trip stops, so to speak, along the way, and a couple of little goofy challenges for people to do.
Hey.
We literally are going to try to do the road rules.
Do it.
Have some fun and be goofy.
Do not bring any fishing rods or fishing poles because, Ryan's a fishing guy back home. He does that as his hobby. So keep that out of your challenge.
No, that's not in there.
Challenge him to basketball. You'll probably take him there. What's your setup that you run with right now?
Well, I switch back and forth. I've got my heads-up display EVS. A lot of people don't necessarily have them or use them. I love the heads-up display option just because I get to know which way I'm going and supposed to be going with the map. I switch between the Defender and actually right now I got a nice I have a Vanquish, but this is a new one actually I recently received from CPX Sports, so
nice. That's
going to go off to CK for a nice little laser job. So between my Vanquish and my Defender, I have to say that Defender is fun sometimes. It is just
machine gun.
You can really lay some paint down. Really lay some paint down with that.
Quick question: who wins, Superman or Flash in a race?
DC characters, really? Man,
come on.
All right. Doesn't matter. Superman wins overall. Oh, I guess Flash is pretty damn fast. We'll go with Flash.
All right. He goes with Flash. Superman wins during the daytime. Flash wins during the night. Just an FYI. Superman gets the sun during the day. All right, William Crook, a.k.a. Mr. Mad Frog Militia. Thank you for tuning in, joining GI Live. Appreciate you. We're looking forward to your trip when Ryan Sexton rolls in with the brigade. And find Mr. Mad Frog here and all your scenario events across the United States.
Always a pleasure, guys. Make sure you guys check us out on Facebook. Mad Frog Paintball, Mad Frog Militia.
There you go. All right, buddy. You have a great day. And don't make that
Thanks,
money.
Man.
Peace.
Take it easy. We'll talk to you.
GI Live.
And welcome back. Rab.
We're back.
Great job with that interview.
What I like about those guys, they absolutely love traveling and driving around playing paintball, and that's what we need in paintball is ambassadors like that. And shout out to you, Mr. Crook, Mr. Mad Frog, and all the group. Good job.
The whole crew.
The whole crew.
Guys, any segment that you guys watch, you can also find on our iTunes channel. So you can go to our iTunes, and then possibly even later on our for YouTube, we'll have that full interview up. Because that was just a segment of the interview that Mr. Steve Rabackoff did with Mad Frog. But be sure to go to our iTunes GI Live and then stay tuned to our YouTube channel to watch that interview in its entirety.
Yep. And we'll have them here in a couple weeks. We'll go over their whole road trip. So we'll see how that goes. I told him to take on Ryan Sexton in basketball because he's not very good. So
out of basketball, that came out of nowhere. Just play Ryan Sexton in basketball
because they're having these challenges throughout the trip. And I said,
basketball,
don't go fishing with him because he's a guide. He does that on the side. So don't do that.
So play him in basketball because he's no good. Okay.
Sorry,
hey, fair enough. Hey, get some video of that for us. Yeah, I'm not good at basketball either. That actually, I thought of a question for you. Did you guys, when you were coming out playing tournaments, did you drive to a lot of events, or was it more like flying?
I did.
Yeah?
The first couple events that when I started playing, I actually went to Wayne Dollick's Last Blast. So I was living in Texas at the time, driving to Florida. So some of my first events were scenario based. So I dig scenario based. There's a lot of people to shoot and a lot of people to shoot back at you. So
I recall some GI video of you a couple of years ago in Germany getting crazy with it.
Yeah, that was a game.
We'll bring that up for
if
another
you ever
time.
have a chance to go to the blue-red game in Germany, that is a game to go to. Absolutely. And we're going to go back to that next year. So
all right.
I said it live, so now you have to go.
Yeah, good. What other games live can I go to?
Speaking of events, we have Fist Store, TAP, and Tornio Argentino Paintball, August 18th and 19th. So if you live down in Argentina and you want to check out a league there, go play there, and I'll give them a big shout out. Tiki's Paintball and MVPS, July 14th and 15th in Lakeland, Florida.
That's close.
They have a nice little series going there, and Tiki's does a lot up there in the Tampa St. Pete area. And going into our next segment, we have Mr. Mark Johnson from.
Oh, we're going to hear from Mark Johnson.
Mark Johnson.
Ooh, Mark Johnson. I like Mark Johnson. AC Diesel, pro player.
Ride for Dale.
Texas Storm. Pride for who?
Ride for Dale.
Ride for Dale. There you go.
He was a big NASCAR fan, so that'll be part of this segment here. And again, if you want to listen to the iTunes, you can go listen to the whole interview with Mark as well.
Okay. Well, let's check in and hear what you and Mark had to say.
All right, let's do it. So we are joined here with Mark Johnson, captain of AC Diesel. What's going on there, Mr. Johnson?
Not a lot, just getting back to work from Atlantic City.
So you just got back from Atlantic City, but before we talk about Atlantic City, let's talk about your first place win with Amsterdam Heat at NXL Prague. So go into that a little bit. You put a nice quick smile. You look pretty happy about that.
Oh yeah, man. If you've done this as long as I have, man, it's hard to get those wins. It's hard to play on that final match. So it was actually a pretty awesome event. Some really good friends come play with us from over here in the States. Myself, Nathan Roberts, Tyler Spees, Brian Hall, Johnny Greer, plays for Aftermath. We all went over there and joined the Amsterdam Heat guys, and ended up winning the whole tournament and didn't lose a match all weekend.
So is that same squad going to head to London next week?
Actually, there's a few of us going over there, but not. I don't think Ryan Hall is going to be able to make it just because of new job and things like that going on. But myself, Nathan Roberts, and Dimitri Nunez is actually playing with the squad over there.
Awesome. Obviously, you're the captain of AC Diesel, and you guys just got back from Atlantic City. You took third place, and you had a tough match against Colorado Blitz. Going to that match, what happened? Because that match puts you into the finals And that's the one like you said, you're trying to get over with AC Diesel to get to that next level. So go into that match real quick.
We felt really good about the match. We're actually happy to be playing at that time because Aftermath got knocked out, and they're sitting in the top seed for the series. And so we go in and playing Colorado Blitz. First time we ever played them all year. Looking pretty good. They're looking good. They just beat Aftermath, so they're excited about it. And we go play a 1-0 match. Talk about the first point was 12 minutes long, like a 4-on-3, and then it turns into a 3-on-2. And then a couple of us just made some bad moves, and they got some good shots on us, which allowed them to win that first point. And then literally there was only less than 3 minutes left to run the next point. And with that layout that the NXL put together for that layout, that was just
tough. You
can hide. I mean, there's a big box in the back that everybody can hide and stay alive.
Yeah, it was a tough day.
They played well, they played smart, and they deserve to go play that final match and, see what we can do for the next one,
So here's a question. If you and Greg Pauly could pick a place to eat in Texas, where are you guys going to eat?
Probably going to be Whataburger,
Whataburger over Hard 8?
Oh, Hard 8, I mean, you're talking barbecue, yes. You got chicken. I mean, there's a laundry list of good eating around here. When we get done with practice, majority of the time we eat in a local Mexican food restaurant, or, we'll hit a nice barbecue place like that. But if you come to Texas and you put Whataburger and In-N-Out side by side, we're going to Whataburger. I don't know about them California dudes. They live and die on the In-N-Out, but ain't nothing on Whataburger.
Mark, real quick, what's just the setup that AC Diesel is running right now? Markers and everything.
Oh, man. So we got the GI Stealth marker, LBL loaders, Powerhouse regs, and Empire tanks. Man, if you haven't shot the GI Stealth marker, you need to go do it, because I know everybody shot a 3.5 before in the past, and they love the 3.5. This marker is better than that marker, hands down.
Awesome. All right, well, we appreciate you. Keep doing what you're doing. We'll see you in London next week. I'm going to head over there as well, so I'll see you guys that are heading over to try to get a back-to-back win with Amsterdam Heat, AC Diesel guys that are playing. So we appreciate you for taking your time out of your day. Go make that legacy money, buddy.
I'm trying, buddy. See you soon.
See you, buddy.
Well, Rab, thank you for that interview. It was good. I like Mark Johnson. Sometimes, he gets heated like he gets heated on Facebook, and he demands stuff. But it's good because that he's passionate about things, and he wants to have. The big thing is that just the coverage for divisional teams from Go Sports at the NXL events, which is big. And that's what this show will always. This show is paintball throughout the world. So we're talking about Imperial program teams, Brigade program teams, scenario paintball, tournament paintball, pro paintball, whatever it is, wherever it's played, that's what we're going to talk about. And you're right, he is one of the guys that goes out there and says a lot. So some of us were paying attention. So yeah, and if you guys didn't check this out, you can actually go on to gosports.com if you haven't subscribed already, and go ahead and subscribe. But we did have the GI Sports field at the event covered Friday through Sunday with one camera. But you can, if you played on the GI Sports field at the NXL Atlantic City event, that whole field was covered all weekend long. It was it was a beta test. Yeah. To just check out the angles, which they're going to work on, and move into the next event where you get 2 fields, 3 fields, 4 fields, and by the time they get to World Cup, you can watch your mom and dad, your brother, sister, your uncle, your fathers, your grandfathers. They can all watch you play paintball. You can watch the games as well. So, I'm gonna have to get out there on those fields. You're gonna have to get some game time, man. Maybe 10-man. Who knows? Hey, maybe there'll be mounds at a cup. But a few other fields and games coming up to shout out to OSG Paintball in Center Burnstead, New Hampshire. Their annual World War II scenario game, Operation Overlord, July 15th will be happening in a couple weeks. White River in Indiana, their July Brigade patch game, Beaches of Normandy. That's going on July 20th, 21st, 22nd. A lot of World War II games. Yep. Hogback Mountain, Normandy Landing, big game. July 8th. X Factor Paintball Park is going to be hosting the U.S. XBL July 21st and 22nd. And then an event that we will be at is going to be Ion July, 14th, 15th, and 16th. That weekend, Invasion of Normandy at Skirmish Paintball. There was 4,100 people there last year. 4,100 people.
Bring your paintball marker, take it out of your closet, whatever you have to do, get out there. There's too many people to shoot
if there's any game you could probably go play with, I don't know what the world record number for people is. That's the biggest game I've ever been to. I've been to Hell Survivors. I've played some big games there. CPX, rest in peace. But man,
you got to get to that game. And you bring your equipment. Make sure
bring your equipment. Bring all of your equipment. Bring the proper equipment. We don't want you well, I'm not going to say because he said it. Darren's sitting over there. But yeah, bring your equipment. So those are some of the games coming up. We'll be featuring those every week on our show, upcoming events from all across the U.S. And the world, just so you guys have an idea. So, if you're in an area and you would love to play a scenario game or a big game or a tournament or whatever it is, post up in the chat. Let us know your comments or questions, and we will find games for you. There are, hundreds of big games, of paintball games that go on across the globe every year. And if you need help finding one, or if you're looking to connect with people, we can do that for you. Just post up in the chat on YouTube, Facebook, message us on Facebook, Instagram. Rab loves Instagram.
Yeah, I love Instagram. and speaking of the chat, if you have any questions, we're going to bring on Justin Rabackoff here in a minute.
Who?
Justin Rabackoff. I know that guy. If you have any questions for him during the show, or have any questions for any of the guys on the show, Mark Johnson, William Crook from Mad Frog Militia, any questions for any of these guys, post up there, because we'll make sure we get those questions to those guys and get them answered for you guys. So it doesn't matter what you play, what form of paintball you play, we're here for you. So on that note, we'll bring in now Justin. Come on in here, Justin.
The live crowd goes crazy.
Right here.
Oh, Justin Rabackoff. Woo! If only that's what it was really like.
Well, I'm trying.
We just did. Yeah, that was it.
That was good. I liked it.
Justin, let's move this closer so people can hear you, not your Faza. High five. Congrats.
Appreciate it.
So let's get down to business.
Yeah.
You just won some big event.
Yeah.
Tell me about it. What was it like?
Well, the field was it was a tough field. I think for a lot of teams, they struggled in terms of finding their identity on the field. Okay. A lot of people either wanted to play super slow. Some teams wanted to play fast, and they couldn't find that balance. I think you needed a little bit of both in terms of closing and opening the game. This was like the first field in a long time where you saw literally every aspect of the game, from the breakout to closing, be 100% efficient. And if you couldn't be that, then you saw those teams struggle.
Sure. No, absolutely. And I like that you said that, because having practiced you and then played you at the event and watched you guys finish the event out, in your case, we saw you shoot on the break, play over the top, and then either maneuver to fill a hole or try and close the game through the center, which I don't know that I saw.
Well, you mentioned at practice, and you said.
Oh, well, we talked about this behind your back.
Yeah, he said at practice, and he said during practice and even at the event, dude with the purple loader standing over.
I said this to X Factor at practice, and I said it at the event when we were playing you guys. I was like, you see the guy with the purple loader and the purple gun and the purple beanie? Yeah, he stands over the top of the back center, one side or another. So you might want to shoot for him, because if you don't, he's going to filter out to the snake side and go up the middle.
One thing that I was thinking about that was really funny, every time that we finished playing anybody, and I'm sure a lot of people with their game plans, they had to have been like, this guy's standing over the top.
Right.
All game, can somebody shoot him? And it must have been frustrating, like going to the pit and saying, he's still there. Can someone shoot at? Because literally every single point of every match, I'm over the top of that doing the same exact thing, shooting at whoever I wanted at will, which ended up, I think, really closed down that Dorito side, because a lot of people were doing where they were shooting from the back center, but a lot of people found out come Sunday that pin was a crazy bounce shot.
Oh yeah.
So you couldn't play that side anymore. Once they started doing that bounce shot, you had to come over the top. And I think a lot of people were nervous about it, because you had to worry about the opposite back center plus the guy you were trying to control on the Dorito side. So it was a really tough position for sure.
Well, you seem to do it better than anyone, because what's up?
We were saying that he's standing over there with this purple loader, And then, obviously, the teams that went further on to Sunday, they were playing it a little more aggressive, standing up and shooting. But a lot of the teams were. Well,
no one like him.
But guys were buried under the big.
Well, that was funny when people were laying on their stomachs. No, that was ridiculous.
That was from that bounce shot because it was. You couldn't play the outside, but I was like, well, I'm just gonna play over the top because I can look at the back center, and it's so far from back center to back center that no matter what, even if that guy shoots at me, he's never going to kill me because I'm going to see it, I'm going to read it, and I'm going to be able to get out of the way in time. All I have to worry about is just controlling the Dorito side. That was my one job. And I tried to do that the best way possible.
Looks like we got a question.
All right.
We'll take it.
First question.
So first question, Justin and Rab, both of you, do you think we should bring back the penalty box? Do you think penalties... Maybe.
No.
No.
I mean, I don't.
No.
Think so.
Okay, that was quick, easy. I was like, penalty box.
Yeah.
No, because when you went in the penalty box, that really, when you went first.
Could you imagine a penalty box behind that brick?
No, like I know the penalty box. It was cool for a minute. But
it was cool for a minute, and I felt like a lot of people thought that was in the direction that it was going. But then once we kind of got a little bit away from it, they started changing it around and doing drastic changes to it.
Yeah, I didn't like the blow up bunker.
Yeah, like once they started doing that, we were like, well, this is dumb. Let's move on.
Right. Who was better in their prime? Big Rab. I'm guessing that's Steve, and then Little Rab, which I'm saying you'd be Middle Rab because you got brother Brandon.
Yeah.
Who was better? I don't know. We have no statistic to really measure that.
Well, I don't think you need statistics when the facts are laying out.
Right. Okay, good.
Oh,
See,
man.
you took it. I didn't have to say it. You took it. You grabbed it. Perfect.
Listen, I don't want to turn this into the Billy Saransky-Rab argument here, but I agree to disagree.
Okay, well, you know what? Let's go over some stats.
We just have to look up World Cup championships. That's it. It's like literally comparing LeBron James and Michael Jordan. When you go to World Cup 6 for 6 and you win 6 for 6 like MJ did, and then LeBron 3 of 8.
Thank you.
He's clearly the better player, and in this fact, it'd be my dad and myself.
It's two different.
So Michael Jordan versus LeBron.
Well, it's two different eras. Like I'm playing in 10-man and transitioning to X-ball. So.
You know what's funny? I was actually thinking about this earlier, and I'm glad that you brought it up because
Dad.
I honestly believe that those teams back then, I could 1v10 them easily.
Ooh,
and I'm not even kidding.
Now you just Billy will come rolling in here in a second.
It'd be like if you were to take them right in their primes or whatever.
Sure.
It's a different athletic.
Exactly.
It's a different.
Very
and
different.
I've heard several players.
But
say
to say back to
from that era.
Our era, if a lot of you would come back and play in the woods with us, we would annihilate you. So.
And you can believe this conversation is going to carry on long after this interview.
This will, but this is going to be further to deeper shows.
We'll get into that later. Great question, by the way, whoever asked that. Thank you for spurring that one on.
It was a good one.
Stats coming off of Atlantic City. Justin, you were the number one coming out of that. 38 kills out of 34 points played. That was just posted up on my fan wagon.
All right.
Here's just how accurate do you think that? I mean, the points played, I'm going to say pretty black and white. There's only one number 9 on Impact that's going to go out there with purple everything. If you're taking stats and you miss that, night, get out of here. But you think more like plus or minus for kills? You think you killed more, less?
Not to dwell on the points played, but after the first day, it said I had 11 points in the one match, and I was playing every other. Yeah, it was crazy. So I was like, how is that even possible? I don't know if they adjust that accordingly
I know they do.
After the day
they go
and they review it. So if they do and that was just like a hiccup or whatever, then that happens. But honestly, I don't really pay attention to any of that stuff while I'm playing.
Sure.
I would say he pays more attention to it, and he shoots me a text. He's like, "Hey,
you're
you're the kill count leader right now."
Sending you a text, you can't lie about that.
I can't.
You can delete it.
Yeah. And then I'm just like, don't even tell me this. I don't even care. I don't want to know about it right now. Because I got other stuff to worry about. It's just my position mostly. But when it comes even after the fact, I'm just like, oh, okay, well that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No big deal. All right, well, let's get into some more stats. You've played over 31 events with Impact. You joined the team in 2013, and you've won with that team 17 NXL or Millennium events. Sound about right? Pretty good? Feeling pretty good? Yeah.
I did not know that.
Well,
so
I
like those stats.
Your dad made me do some dirt digging on you.
I like the 17 of 31.
So now that's from the records that we have from APPA now merged together, and then going through and looking at the Millennium events, you've actually won It would be 8 events in the Millennium, going back to 2014, because 13 you guys didn't win anything. But in 14 you won the first 3. 15 you won Basildon. 16 you won Barcelona and Paris, Chantilly, and then in 17 you won Puget and London.
Okay.
So the NXL, since I think we went back to your pro debut, you'd have 9 wins, so 9 and 8, 17. 5 of those wins are from the Russian Legion.
Okay.
1 from Tampa Bay Damage.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's just information for you guys for our contest coming up to win this jersey.
So none of the MPPLs are counted on there, huh?
No. So, well,
I got a lot of pro
now
wins
not
on
all
that
the
one, too.
MPPLs transfer over to that the ranking system.
Okay.
Now, some of them with Arsenal do.
Yeah.
So we can go back and we can find those.
We just went off
yeah,
of
with the
7
ones
man.
with Arsenal too. Yeah, yeah, but still, wins a win.
Hey, you got a nice.
Unless you're playing the French Federation, we're counting it.
Yeah, exactly.
Tava, sorry.
Okay, so let's do some quick questions here. Just the first thing that comes to your mind, answer these questions. How do you feel about this season so far, good, bad, indifferent, compared to last?
Like in terms of the team, myself, the league.
The team.
You pick one. Well,
Okay.
Yeah, you pick one.
Okay.
Just whatever.
Individually, I felt like I've been playing okay, subpar. In AC, I kind of played a lot better, I believe. I think that the team relies on me to play a position, in my opinion, that no one else can play. Either 1, it's super boring and no one wants to play it, or 2, it's a job that you need to just control, like a control factor. Go out here and shoot 11 pods,
Right.
control this entire side of the field so that we can win it down this side or win it down the other side. Because if we keep them trapped in the back,
Right.
then it's better for us, right?
Yeah.
Then we're never going to get shot in the back and we're good.
Sure.
I always find myself in those roles because I feel like I'm one of the better players that can do it. And 1, I don't really have a choice. They're like, you're playing that spot.
Yeah. Well, we talked about this in Chicago last year, where you just said you did the same thing. You stood in that tower,
Yeah.
played the bounce shot, and shot all your paint at the same guy.
And we won that event, and I had to do that boring job for the team, and I had to control that entire side of the field. So sometimes I have to be that job, but in AC it was a more fun tournament for me because I literally got to do whatever I wanted. Even when we're making up game plans, my name was never in it because it was just like, okay, yeah, just do whatever. Which I've never had that freedom before.
Oh, that's
so I could
nice.
fill the snake side, fill the Dorito side, go up the middle, stay in the back if I wanted to. It really was just my call, and I was the one quarterbacking from the back, like, hey, look this way, I'm going to do this. And then everyone just follows and trusts the game plan. It was amazing to have that and have that freedom, and I felt like it worked really, really well for me.
Well, we'll see.
Told them we should have shot the guy in purple.
Definitely.
No one listened to me.
Obviously,
That would have broke down everything 'cause I'm the one controlling the game here.
Okay.
So we'll see if that transitions into NXL.
Yeah, I think
London
it's just
next week.
it depends on the field, and I haven't seen the field for London yet, but it just depends on if I'm needed in this, or can I do this, or can I do that. It's just whatever the team needs. I never argue it. Never once. I don't ever give any confrontation about where I want to play or where I should play or in my head. It's literally whatever the team asks, I just do, and I try to do it the best way I can.
Okay. And just off topic, kind of on topic with that, when you say the team asks, is that like a Dave or Bart asking?
Yeah,
or
it's mostly a Dave
you guys
and
have
Bart.
to draw straws like, hey, Al Goldman, you're playing the back end of this event.
Yeah,
dude.
no, it's mostly a Dave and Bart thing. They'll be like, some of the players will be like, hey, he's playing really good here, and then that factors into the decision that they make, but it's mostly their decision, like, we feel this is a really tough spot or a control spot. Okay, you go there.
Okay. All right. Well, next question. What do you think so far about the new bunkers this year with the layouts? Think the league's doing a good job?
I said it originally straight from the beginning when we first got on this field. There's a lot of bunkers, and I would like for them to see sometimes not using all of them.
Yeah.
Right?
We've heard that.
We've heard that from a few
what's
people.
the rule saying that they need to use every single bunker? Now, on this field, it kind of worked. But on the other fields, there was too much. It was a lot of congestion.
Sure.
And a lot of things that just didn't work. They didn't flow, and it impacted the game flow.
Many players have said, "Hey, this is cool, but why do you have to use every?" So maybe
Even
maybe
if it's
the league is
2,
watching.
what if it's 1? What if it's 3? Like if they only had one of the big ones instead of mirroring them on an either side.
Absolutely.
Who says that they can't do that? Why can't they do that with the layout? Why can't they take out 4 or 5 or 3 or 1? Who cares like what it is? You have all those bunkers. Make the best field that you believe possible without having to utilize every single bunker.
I like that.
You heard it here first, folks. Tom Cole, when you come on the show next, you have questions to answer.
And you will be coming here shortly. You just don't know it.
Well, he knows it. Who did you look up to coming up in paintball? Who were your role models?
I had a few. Obviously, John Richardson, Rusty Glaze, obviously my dad. Like they were the 3 that impacted me the most in terms of my play and how I developed, because they were there. They lived near me. Obviously, my dad. So I was out there every weekend with them when John and Rusty were living in Virginia.
Okay.
And for people that are tuning in or watching, John Richardson played on Avalanche, and he definitely is one of, like, if I were to say best players of all time, he's in that group. And that'll be later shows here, but
yeah, for sure. I agree. He was one of the main players that really impacted me the most of the 3. When he was on the hybrid tech team or whatever, and he was the invisible man. Like, I loved that. I loved everything about that. And he would always be able to do those crazy moves where he wouldn't seem to be in a bunker, but he was able to hide outside of one and make it work. And that was one of those things that I really wanted to incorporate in my game. So it was one of the things I really, really practiced, one of the things that I really focused on. And I feel like that's what helped me kind of like mold into that player. Now, in terms of really impacting, I would say going to the Russians was one of the best things for me, because though they got me to that level, the Russians were able to push me beyond a limit that I didn't even know was there.
Disciplined.
Yeah. With them, like they made me, it was child's play. They made me look terrible.
I've been there.
Yeah.
Here's Fedorov, Mishka, and Sergey. Good luck.
Yeah, exactly. So now I feel like I'm right up there now compared to when I first started snapping against Mishka. He would just wear me out, and I couldn't even hit him once.
Yeah.
It was so frustrating. But then every day I'm like, all right, Mish, let's play. Let's play. And then now I'm like, I believe I'm one of the best in the league at snap shooting because of that. Like, I couldn't have definitely, without having to go against him, there's no chance. There's no chance I see myself
he's
in the
another
top
player
there.
that would be, if I were to pick a team, Mishka from Russian
pick
Legion.
him?
He's definitely in my top.
He's always been in my top, only because of I have a little bit of history with him. I played with him. Exactly.
Absolutely.
So I have to see it that way.
Yeah. Okay. Question from our viewers on the air. J-Rab, Justin, how do you feel about the evolution of the sport? That's a big question. And where it is going. Too fast, too slow, too much paint. Well, you've been around for a little bit. I mean, you're going to bring up names like Rusty and JR. You're obviously only 29 years old, so you must have been playing paintball since you were 5.
If only.
Yeah. Evolution of the sport. You think, I mean, you said the bunkers, we could use less bunkers. You think maybe more players on the field, less players? Get away from the ramping format.
This is one of those, like,
we could talk about this for like hours.
You really could, and I don't know if there's a right or wrong. I'm not that person to be able to say, here's where we need to go to make it better. I feel like as it stands right now, in terms of the progression, it's kind of plateaued a little bit, only because the way that the bunkers have been implemented and the way that the teams have taken a step back and figured out that slowing the game down is a better way to communicate and a better way to play team paintball. Yeah. So that's just the way that the evolution has gone, where it was, as soon as the NXL came around, it was fast. When the Russians came over and they were running and gunning everywhere and people didn't even know what that was, and they were shooting people on the break, running and gunning to the snake, that completely changed the game.
Right.
And it was fast, it was quick, it was awesome.
It was when they arrived in Nemacolin, when Fedorov rolled in and started running to the 50 snake on the running and gunning, just annihilating.
I remember
guys.
watching it. It was absolutely incredible to watch, and I was like, I need that. I need to start doing that.
Can I get one of those?
Yeah.
I think everybody started saying, wow.
And then what happened is when that started turning quick, everyone started to look, well, how can we slow that down? And that's when people started getting really good at shooting on the break. Because they're like, if they want to stand up and be a big target, let's just shoot them on the break.
Yeah.
And then that's what it kind of turned into. And now you have to make that decision on the field. Do I need to run and dive in this spot? Can I run and gun to this spot? Do I have to slide? Whatever it may be, you now have to take that into effect because people have gotten good at that. So now the game, in my opinion, has slowed down. And with the new bunkers, and even taking away the wall, with the new bunkers and how it's so congested, it's slowed down even more. In this last field was
so listen up, Tom Cole.
Made it even worse. It made it even worse. I don't know. I've heard talks of going to 7-man or going back to 5-man and doing best of 3s and just doing it that way. Like, I've heard a lot of different talks, and again, I'm not the guy that says this is the best for us because I don't know. Like, we don't know, and without having to do anything drastic, it's tough to say.
Right on.
Great answer. I was going to say, he's the one that knows. Pick him. Pub night or Fortnite? PUBG or Fortnite?
PUBG.
PUBG.
Fortnite is for children and frat bros. That's what it's for.
So, Cena, you were streaming Fortnite last night. You're
Cena, you're in that category as child.
PC or console?
I play both. I prefer PC, but all the Impact guys and a lot of my friends, they own Xbox. So I play with them on Xbox, but whenever I'm gaming by myself or I'm just like don't want to play with them, I'm always on the PC.
Ooh, who's the best player on Impact?
Besides myself?
You can answer the question any way you want. I left that part out.
Okay, so if I'm not including myself, man, it's really tough. And honestly, it depends on the day.
You can play the fifth.
And it depends on the field. I would say over the years. Let me do it by this. I'll go off of who I play the best with. And I think one of the best duos to ever play the game would be me and Justin Cornell. Putting us on a side, it virtually, I mean, you looked it up, the stats. They don't lie. And most of those wins have come from me and JC being on a single side, running down that side and making teams look bad.
Making teams look bad. Okay, well, this will feed into that. If you can make a 6-man team, you being the 6, so you got to pick 5 other guys, who would be on it, and you cannot use anyone from Impact.
You can't use anyone from Impact.
Oh, you can't pick your own team.
I
That's
was
what I
going
would
to just
do.
choose everybody.
Obviously, I knew the answer to that already.
Okay.
Gotta have some foresight. Remember, shoot the guy in purple.
That's right.
Just 5 guys that come to mind. Like,
okay.
And it could be from the past. Like they could. Well, I said they'd be dead. But I don't know which one.
Your 5 guys.
Oh, my 5 guys.
Yeah, it could be
in their primes.
Yeah.
Whoever you want, man.
Okay.
Who's your pick?
I would choose me, Oliver. Let's do Archie, Angel.
Ooh, there's a
because I need a snake guy.
Yeah.
A good Dorito guy. Man, that's tough.
You just mentioned the guy you snapshot against.
Who?
Mishka.
Oh. He's not a front. He's not a front Dorito.
Yeah.
You know, it's tough.
You got 4 guys. You got yourself, Oliver, Archie, Angel.
An Angel. Okay.
So you got 2 more picks.
Let's go with Chad George. Let's go with Chad George. Yeah, okay. He's a stunner. And then I'll take Dalton from Dynasty. How about that? Even though he plays on Impact.
I like that. Good move. I'll take Dalton when he was on Dynasty.
Yeah,
Dalton, if you're listening, maybe you're losing it, man. Who is your biggest rival? As an individual, who do you think your biggest rival is?
Honestly, I couldn't even answer that honestly because I don't care about that stuff. I don't even think about that stuff. I'm never like, oh, that guy again, or we get to play against this team, or so. Without just making one up, I don't have a rival per se, unless someone's created one that I don't know about. In my head, I don't have a rival.
Okay. One of the last questions I have: you played your brother in the finals. Mm-hmm. I
knew this was going to come up.
Well, it had to. Yeah. There was a great picture of you two hugging at the end, and then obviously, you know, I've actually taken a few of the pictures myself of you 3 of you at events.
Yeah.
I mean, talk to me through anything you said to him before or after. You know, did you give him any words of encouragement before, or did you like, hey, Brandon, screw you, you're on the other team, but good luck.
No, I kind of wanted to stay away from that. I didn't want to get into his head or anything like that, or feel like I needed to play mind tricks or influence him in any way. So I kind of, the only words that we had before the game were irrelevant to paintball at all. So it wasn't any words of encouragement or try to play in his head or anything like that. It was just kind of like, let's just not talk about it.
Okay.
And then, when we get out there, then that's what it is.
Yafaja, he picked Brandon in an interview. Did you hear that?
Yeah, he told me anyways. He's like, you won enough. Let the kid have it.
I did.
And I was like,
could you have shot yourself in the foot at least once?
Yeah, I was like, how can I go out there and give him the game? I was like, that. You know what?
I didn't say that.
I think that's what made me even play even harder.
Yeah, bet it did.
Because before that game, and I'll be honest, I did not plan on going up the middle at all. And in my head, after the game, I was like, man, the middle won us that game.
Oh yeah.
Because it was able to free up Dalton and then free up our snake sides, because I was able to pick apart those guys that were controlling our outsides from the middle, and that wasn't even in my mindset going into the game.
Thanks, Rab.
It literally went where that guy went to the middle can on the break, and I was like, guess I'm going up here. That's exactly what happened, and I was able to sneak up there.
Guy in purple again.
So blame Paulie. It was his fault.
Well, we've already heard you two have words. Well, yeah. So the last thing, obviously, we get into purple. Why purple? Why is it your color?
I don't know. It was one of those colors when I was growing up that no one used, no one ever had, no one ever did purple.
He stole it from Sally.
No, it wasn't that I
Don't bring
stole
her
it
into
from
this. She'll
Sally.
come in here and whoop both your butts.
It wasn't that I stole it from Sally. It was mostly because I always growing up, and even now at 29 years old, I always wanted to be different. I always wanted to, on the field, play a different style that no one's ever seen. I wanted to look different, feel different, and that's what it was. When I was out there playing, no one had that color, and it was a color that stuck with me because I was different. Yeah. At the time, it was considered it was considered to not be cool, a cool color. I was flamed for wearing purple. Yeah,
sure.
For sure.
No, I can see that.
Every other pro made fun of me, called me Purple People Eater, or
a good name, man.
Countless other names. But I was like, this is who I am, and this is what I want to stick with.
Embraced it.
And then now HK makes purple, GI makes purple. Everyone makes purple now, and everyone wears it. And I believe that I had a lot to do with that, because at the time nobody had it.
Yeah.
So speaking of colors, then, what's your least favorite?
I would say, yeah, purple's the color. That's my color. You look at a color and go, ugh. Like, what's the color you don't like at all? Like, you see a color and you go, ha ha.
I don't really like blue that much.
Blue?
Yeah, I don't really like blue. There's different forms of the blue. Like, I really like X Factor's jerseys. I think you guys have the best jerseys in the game right now. That's a good blue. I'm talking like a dark blue, or Dynasty blue. I do not like their blue. I think that's what it is. I don't like their blue. So I would say blue is probably my
Dynasty blue.
Dynasty blue.
That's a specific. Aftershock has a specific blue.
Yeah. But that's very similar,
Damage.
Though.
Yeah.
That's very similar. I think
you said Dynasty, so we're just gonna.
Yeah, we'll
Justin
stick with
hates
that
everyone
blue.
on Dynasty.
We'll stick with that blue.
Except for Angel and Oliver.
Honestly, those guys, they have everything to complain about and whatever, without getting more
you
into
don't
it.
have to go any farther than you already said.
Yeah. So now we're going to lead into the contest here. So explain the contest here.
So Justin has been gracious enough to donate a jersey. Which is this from this past event?
No. This is an older one. Yeah, it's a throwback that I had sitting in the garage.
So we got a throwback from Justin's garage that he is going to give away to a winner. In order to win, you'll have to answer some questions. First, you need to subscribe to our YouTube channel. So click that subscribe button, go to our YouTube channel, GI Sports. Then what you're going to need to do is tell us the 4 World Cups that Justin has won, the year, and the team of those wins. So he's got 4 World Cup wins. What team he was on for each of those, and what year were each of those wins. Don't answer the question.
Yeah, of course.
And then you need to tell us specifically what is Justin's least favorite color? Which he answered in this interview.
Yeah.
So
if you're paying attention,
it's a specific color. It's not just a color. It's a specific color. We made sure of that.
4 World Cups, which years, which teams, and the color he does not
Least favorite color. The color that he sees and goes, ugh, ugh.
And you will win this jersey?
You'll win this jersey, which I'm guessing you'll probably sign.
Yeah, of course.
So that's what I got. We've done interviews in here before. We could talk forever. Brad, you got anything for number one son?
No, that's...
Sorry, Brandon.
That's it. I think it's been a great show. We appreciate everybody tuning in and watching the show, and this show is going to continue to grow. And thanks for coming in today.
I appreciate it.
Well, how about this?
Thanks for having me.
What are you doing now? What's going on in your life?
Like, what do you mean?
Like,
where am I going after this?
Yeah, you're gonna go. I saw the KFC.
Well, so I already ate lunch. I'll probably, I'm gonna get my car washed today.
Oh.
I'll probably go back and definitely
Bed Bath & Beyond?
if there's time. Only if there's time. If I go
Home
to Bed
Depot.
Bath.
Is that like your
Barnes
stress
and
relief
Noble?
place? Oh, I like that. In Federal.
Yeah,
all the time.
that place is awesome.
Yeah, it's 2 stores.
And my magazine's there.
It is. It is.
It's there. It's at Barnes and Noble. I couldn't believe it. It's still.
They
surreal.
keep selling out, but they keep putting new ones.
Yeah,
out there.
when I went there and I saw my face in a Barnes and Noble, I go to that Barnes and Noble all the time and I buy books because I'm a Star Wars fanatic and I read the books there.
Okay.
So I go there and I see the magazine and I was like, man, this is crazy. Yeah, it was almost made me giddy. Like
did you like go
girl.
like?
No, you know what I should have. I almost wanted to go up and buy it like this, like, hey, and see if they said anything. But no, no, I'm not that conceited.
All right, so we are going to wrap this up.
We're gonna wrap it up.
Thanks for coming in, Justin.
Yeah. So again, guys, thanks for tuning in to our GI Sports Show.
Thank you, Rosie.
Thank you, Rosie. Thank you to our live studio audience, Darren.
Without them, it wouldn't be possible.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes,
in all reality, because we're not going to be the ones that do this stuff.
Yeah,
we can't do it.
I can lick 2 wires and get it connected. But thank you guys for tuning in. We'll be back. We're going to try and go live.
We're going to try to go live at NXL London next week.
And then once you're back from that, we'll definitely do a live show here in the studio, and then we'll be at Ion Skirmish, the big game. 4,100 people last year.
Yeah, and we're gonna try to go live there as well. And when we say try, it's due to in some areas the internet and the service has to be. When you have 4,000 people trying to get on their phones and Instagram and Snapchat, it makes things difficult. So we're gonna make some attempts and keep our fingers crossed there. But again, thank you for tuning in. Someone post that up, those answers, and win this jersey here.
Yeah, so thank you guys. Thank you, Justin. Congratulations again on being number 1.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me, guys.
Anytime.
Yeah.
Come on down.
So I live right down the road, so
we'll come
to
you.
Here. Yeah. We'll do it at my house.
Paintball Cribs edition.
Yeah.
There it is.
All right, well, thank you guys for tuning in. We'll catch you guys next time.
See ya.
Peace.